Time to work, Ghost Squad.
What's going on, guys? Rule 2 here, and this is the first Call of Duty Ghost gameplay that I've uploaded since the new map pack came out for it. The new map pack brought 4 new multiplayer maps, a new extinction map, and a new weapon. Actually 2, depending on how you look at it. And I wanted to go through and give you my opinion on each of these. I know the gameplay you're watching right now isn't on one of those maps, and I wanted to give you my opinion on each of the things that was unlocked. Nightfall, I played that for a bit. It's definitely fun. It's extinction. The enemies seem a little bit harder to kill in Nightfall than they were in the original map. I don't remember the name of it right now off the top of my head, but the enemies seem a little bit harder to kill. It's definitely always a blast to have, you and 3 of your friends in Extinction playing that together. The maps that are unlocked in multiplayer, the new maps you got Bayview, which is like a beach side, like pier area with lots of little shops and stuff where you can get really tight in the corners, and there's just lots of ins and outs. So if you wanted to run away from somebody, you could lose them in a heartbeat without even thinking twice. And it's really good because it's also got the really long sight lines for snipers or assault rifles. Those are toward the outside of the map, whereas the tight corners and stuff are all pretty much centralized right in the middle of the map. And then you have containment, which is just a clusterfuck of horrid design, honestly, I think. You have a city, a small city, town, whatever you want to call it, but you're pretty much in this desert city. Everything's all brown and stuff. It's not a very bright and vivid, colorful map. But besides the colors, there's a ravine that runs in the middle with a bridge crossing it, and on the bridge, at some point during the match, the radioactive tanker on top explodes and just destroys the path across, which means you have to cross through the ravine to get there. Now, that is not so much of a problem. There are 3 ways up. 3 ways up one side and 2 ways up the ravine the other, which doesn't seem it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right, especially if you're playing domination. If you're playing domination, you have 2 flags on one side, so if you can spawn trap them on the other side, it's not too hard to do that. I think it's the C flag, I believe, but it's not very well balanced, honestly, in my opinion, for game modes like domination. Then you have Ignition, which is by far my favorite of the new maps. It's actually a remake from a Modern Warfare 2 map named Scrapyard. And back in Modern Warfare 2 days, if you've been with my channel a while, you know that that's when I played competitively. And Scrapyard was actually the map me and my team would always warm up on and practice on. Not really practice, but it was the map where we'd always go and mess around in before we got a match, or when we were playing around, before we posted a match or accepted. That was the map we always practiced on and played on. And then it was also a map I'd done a lot of my quick scoping on back when I sniped real hard and heavy. The next map, something totally new to the franchise. It's called Fog, and it's really actually pretty freaking sweet. I myself cannot play the map at all. It's hard for me to get even a somewhat decent or reasonable game. Like, it's hard for me to go positive, honestly. I think I went positive just a handful of times on the map. It's definitely a submachine gun map. Definitely a submachine gun map. There are some long range, but for the most part, it's all you're in and out of caves, you're in and out of the house, you're up in like little trenches with briar bushes on each side, roots growing out of the ground, and swampy area. It's crazy map. It's a beautiful map. I myself I can't do it. I can't get any kind of good gameplays on it. Like, I've tried desperately. My original plan was I was going to take and upload a small clip of me doing half decent on each one of the maps and compile them all into one video and then talk about the DLC. Well, that didn't exactly happen, and the reason it didn't happen is because of Fog. I can't do good on Fog. I can't. But it is a beautiful map, and it plays really well. You just have to get in a rhythm. You have to get in a routine. and that's just not something that I can seem to do very well. And they also released a new weapon. I'm sure you've heard about it or seen it in multiplayer by now if you don't have the map pack, and it's called the Maverick. Now this comes in two different varieties. You have the assault rifle and you have the sniper rifle. Both are essentially the same gun. The sniper rifle though, if you equip the sniper rifle, you will notice that it has a tracker sight on the scope already. Ridiculously overpowered in my opinion. Like if you put quick draw on it, and I mean with the tracker sight, why would Infinity Ward do that when, you know, tracker sights aren't allowed in MLG because they're unfair and overpowered and make it like laser beams? And then the assault rifle is actually just fine. It's along the lines of the Peacekeeper. But if you like the video, guys, just leave a like. Thanks for watching. Peace.